Southwest Florida is an incredible game, but at times it can be found pretty boring. With that being said, here are 20 things you can do when you are bored of Southwest Florida. At number 1, we have recreating specs. This is something you can do when you are bored of Southwest Florida. It's a pretty simple concept. Simply just search up your favorite vehicle and just recreate whatever spec you like. Just find your favorite one, head to whatever shop, and just do the process of recreating it. And take a look at that. That's pretty cool, man. I was actually doing this the other day myself, found some pretty cool specs, and just recreated them inside the game. I mean, it's a fun thing to do. And of course, you can share this with your friends, see how they think. And on top of that, you have an amazing looking vehicle. This map is pretty big, so there's a ton of Easter eggs that you can actually find. Literally right next to the spawn, there's going to be this building right over here, which actually features a SpongeBob police boat. And if you make your way to Jeff's Pizza, you will notice a Garfield over here being cooked. If you make your way to the Mirage Club, make it right from it and drive down until you see this trail, you're gonna notice what looks like a bunker. If you make your way to Dippin' Donuts and make your way down this ditch to the opening, you're gonna notice that there's actually some yellow tape and what appears to be a doorway. This place used to be closed off with a creature inside known as Raft 18, otherwise known as Garfield. There's a ton of Easter eggs around this map. Let me know how many you can find. Something I like to do myself is called photo shoots. It is a very simple concept. Just go to a location that looks remotely nice and go ahead and do something which is only on PC, which is known as activating FreeCam. It's basically a drone mode that is used mostly for pictures. You can activate this by using the Shift+C key button on your keyboard and just do whatever it takes to take a simple screenshot, just like so. Unfortunately, this is only for PC, but you can still make photo shoots possible on mobile. Just simply hop outside your vehicle, make sure your lights are on, let me do that real quick, and just take a picture. I mean, it's that simple. But in my opinion, Shift+C is definitely the most reliable since there is more control, with an example being zoom. As you can see, it's very useful. But regardless, taking photos is just something I enjoy a lot. I do it a lot anyway since I'm a YouTuber, I gotta take thumbnails, but doing photo shoots is something you can do when you are bored of the game. Now, you're definitely gonna find this one interesting, but something you can do when you're bored is doing something called parkour. Yes, in Southwest Florida. Parkour can be done anywhere, or there's like a challenge of some sort. For example, get on top of a building. I'm assuming I was just going here, then just jump onto here, and then boom. I mean, this is pretty much parkour, right? This is definitely parkour. Yep, that's cool. And yeah, I mean, personally, I don't do this very often, really ever, but there is some people out there who actually do parkour. I only know one person that does that, but yeah, I mean, parkour can be done anywhere. Like I said, it can be jumping from places. For example, from here to this block. Let's see if I can make it. Okay, what if I sprint? There we go. That's cool. And it can be done, like I said, anywhere, not just here.
1 minute later.
Yeah, personally, I don't think it's possible to parkour on top of a hospital, so I guess it can't really be done anywhere. I mean, it's still possible, like for things like this, you know, jump from this line to that line. I mean, that's somewhat parkour. Or maybe something like this. Yeah, it's basically obbies but in Southwest Florida. Let me know if you can make it possible. Yeah, you're gonna find this one pretty interesting as well. See, people in this game are always either driving or robbing stores or tuning, but whatever. What I don't see people doing though is literally just walking, and I'm being serious, like just literally taking a walk. Probably the reason why people don't do this because there's cars that can take you from destination A to B, and of course doing this alone can be pretty boring. Plus there's walking in real life. Honestly, this is somewhat enjoyable. I mean, it's peaceful for sure. Now, there's some nice areas to walk in. For example, down this area, that's where you see most of the cars anyway, so definitely a good option. Down this area, and changing the time can definitely put an effect on this. Walking on this time of day looks pretty boring, I won't lie. So what if I did maybe nighttime? Okay, that's just a little creepy. I'm sure sunset will look pretty cool. Yeah, that looks pretty nice, honestly. Like, imagine this in a revamp. That would be really nice. But yeah, walking might not be for everyone, I won't lie, definitely. But if you are like sincerely bored, like truly bored, you might just find this option pretty useful. Then there is drifting. To be fair, I don't drift a lot, but I do find it fun. I won't lie. It's a great thing to do when you're bored of the game. And you can make it possible without a drift tune as well. I mean, look at this. Of course, it's going to be harder to control, but that's the fun of it, you know? I just like sliding. That's really what this is. Ooh, okay. I'm not the best, I won't lie. Okay, okay, I'm not getting the best results, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you should get a drift tune, I don't know. But then again, it does take skill. So, handbrake. Okay, that was alright. That was cool. I'll take that. Drifting is a fun thing you can do on board. And on top of that, there is a ton of drift tunes out there on YouTube, so I definitely give it a try. Then there is role-playing, or just simply take the game as if you're actually like living in it. For example, stopping at red lights, actually getting fuel when your vehicle actually needs it, if that's considered roleplay, making use out of cruise control, actually purchasing a home, pretending to use appliances, watching TV even though you can't. You get the point. Essentially being realistic. I am a more chill kind of player, so I kind of enjoy doing this on default, but if you're bored yourself, I would definitely give it a try. After all, this game does have motorcycles, so something you can do when you're bored is seeing how long you can hold a wheelie for. Just simply hold control on your keyboard to hold a wheelie. How long can you hold it for? Even on turns. Let's see if it's possible. Okay, not really. Like without breaking it, how long can you hold a wheelie for? I won't lie, it's not the most difficult thing, but it's a fun thing to do, man. Especially in this view right here. Take a look. This is dope. You get the point. Holding a wheelie. Like I said, this map is pretty big, so you probably think you have seen everything, but in reality, you really haven't. I don't really go down this location that often, to be honest. Just taking a drive, exploring the map is something I like to do personally. People don't even go to the water park anymore. This place is awesome, and it's actually got a name to it too, Aqualand. So much detail, all this work just put into this water park, and nobody goes here. Yeah, there's the water park, there's the off-road trail. Like, there really is some nice locations on this map that I highly recommend visiting. Now, as a cruiser in this game, I always find myself actually using semi instead of auto when it comes to transmission, and that's because it's just more fun. You have more control on the car, and to me it just feels realistic. How? I don't really know, but I just like using it. Like if you're driving and you find it kind of boring on computer, try switching transmission modes, whether that would be auto to semi or auto to manual, which utilizes the clutch, which is shift on your keyboard. It's a very small feature, but I recommend trying it if you're bored, especially if you're the cruiser type. Becoming a YouTuber was one of the best decisions I've ever made. In general, of course, but being one for this game was a great decision, and I have grown so much. The channel you're watching this on is of course this one, but some may recognize me from this channel, which I have 14.1 thousand subs on. The channel has grown like crazy, and the benefit for being a YouTuber for this game is the money. Not only is having so much money just great, honestly, it actually allows me to start making videos. Of course, you can do it without the money, you know, it's just simply grinding, but if you just want to jumpstart, you will get this money. This allows me to buy mansions, cars, essentially allowing me to make videos. Let's just get started on it. If you've like done everything in this game, like getting all the money, all the nice cars, you could literally make content on those things, you know, how you can make tons of money, the best cars to buy. You get the point. Of course, it is not for everyone. Being a YouTuber does stress me out at times, but I do enjoy being a YouTuber. I recommend it, honestly. Now, everyone is talking about drifting, drag racing, all that kind of stuff, but what I don't see often is people roll racing. What it is pretty much in the name. Instead of like going from 0, you're actually starting at a roll. You're going at a certain speed, for example, maybe 60. You can do the 3 honk thing where you honk 3 times, and then on the third one, you just go and see who wins. You can see references on YouTube, seeing how people roll race, and it's literally apply that to the game. I don't see this often, like at all. Sometimes I'll sit on Discord, on YouTube, but in public servers, I don't. It's a pretty interesting way of racing. Everyone is about drag tunes, all that kind of stuff, you know, how to make your car so quick. What about a roll racing tune? I recommend trying it though, just seeing how it is. Who knows, you might just find your new way of racing. But then there is the simple drag racing. Probably one of, if not the most common way of racing in this game. It is a very simple concept. You start at 0, launch your car, of course it goes like 3, 2, 1, and just see who wins, man. This is probably my favorite type of racing, probably everyone's too, but we can see why everyone does this. It's fun, man. Like you've tested your vehicle on your own, seeing how fast it is. But how about compared to other cars, you know? Drag racing is where you see that, and it is a really fun thing. And you could literally find one in a public server. You can either just join an active one or just host one yourself, you know? Drag races are fun, and it's something you can do when you're bored of the game. Now, this photo is shooting, but then there is photo editing. Very simple. You just take a picture, just like so, and then just throw it into a photo editor. Just start a new project, and then just choose whatever one. Go ahead and import that screenshot you just took. Go ahead and resize it, and just mess around with it, man. The kind of edits I like making are ones that are like in motion, you know? Like you see how this vehicle is stationary? What if I make it so that it's actually moved? First step, you're gonna export this project, make it the max quality so that it looks good. Then go to a website called Adobe Background Mover. Just click on the link, upload your photo, and give it a second, and a moment now, and boom, there you have it. A high quality removed background image. Just close these tabs. Once you've of course installed it, then click this layer, go to file, open in place, and then import the file as you can see. Then go to the bottom layer, go to filter, go to blur, and then go to motion blur, and just increase the distance by moving the slider to the right. Now you will notice this motion blur. That's literally what it is. Pretty cool. And to make it more realistic, what you're gonna want to do is cut out these wheels. It's really not that difficult. Just go to the rectangle select, change it to ellipse select with the feather to 1, and just make it so that it goes around this wheel or this rim, just just like so. That's not bad. It really doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Then you're gonna hold on Control, click C, and then click V, and do it again for the other wheel. Boom. Make sure you're on this layer, and then Control C and V. Awesome. Now go to radio blur, click on the middle of the wheel, like about here, and then change the amount to around 20. And it's gonna imitate the wheel actually like spinning. Of course, do that for the other wheel. First, go to filter, blur, radio blur, click on the middle of the wheel, and then put the amount to 22 or just 20. And look at that. Now you can click on the upmost layer, go to the bottom where you see this kind of half circle looking thing, click on it, click on vibrance, and adjusting this will control how colorful your image is. Vibrance is the more like less harmful approach. The saturation really like colors things up. Doing this both is kind of overkill, but do whatever you desire. But there you have it, a photo edit. And then of course you could just export it. Just name it McLaren. I'm gonna just name mine as McLaren edit. You know, this is something you can definitely do when you're bored of the game. Becoming a criminal is another great option if you are bored of the game. There are several stores in the game that you can actually rob, with one being the Bub Mart. And this job is most fun when there's actually a ton of criminals, and of course a ton of police officers. That makes it more challenging. But if you're bored of the game, I highly recommend doing this. And of course I can't do it right now because there's no cops on the server, but the robbing stores feature in this game is definitely one of the best. And that is something I highly recommend doing if you're bored of Southwest Florida. Now before I say this, people are gonna say, Panda, I don't have any friends, blah blah blah. I have no friends. If that is true, that is unfortunate. But if you do have friends, whether they'll be in real life or online, playing this game with them is a very fun thing to do. And it doesn't just have to be friends. It can be your loved ones, whether that will be your brother, your sister, nephew, niece, uncle, your parents. You get the point. Playing this game with other people, not just solo. You're pretty much already doing that if you're playing on multiplayer, like in a public server. But I really do enjoy playing this game with other people around me. You know, doing things like role plays, races. You get the point. Playing this game alone is going to be boring, without a doubt. And if you are bored, I recommend allowing some other people to play with you. You can rob stores together, be police officers, take down the criminals. Playing with friends is a very fun thing to do. It is something I recommend to any bored person out there. Then there is quite literally destroying your vehicle. This really requires no explanation, just destroy it. For example, let's go ahead and max out the suspension, increase stiffness, and increase pre-compression on both sides. Boom. Let's go ahead and decrease the wheel width so the wheels are like very skinny. The wheel size is going to be extremely small on the front, but then really big on the rear already. And then we are going to increase the camber on the front, but then lower it on the rear. Nice, looking nice. And also it's going to be increased on both sides. And we're going to make the steer speed all the way up. Let's see. What was if I do 0 on everything on the diff? And that might be interesting. And then the gearing is going to be all the way up. Well, not all the way up, but you get it. And there you have it. You can make it faster if you want to. Race reduction to make the car even lighter. And there you have it. Look at the steer speed. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Look at that steer speed. And I did this to the car, so I have nothing to complain about. Like, if you're bored of the game, just don't take things seriously. If that's what you want to do. Just destroy your vehicle. Now, you could be bored of this game due to it being kind of repetitive. So just switch something up. If you're the cruising type, maybe do some more racing or drifting. If you like being a police officer or a sheriff the most, how about let's be a criminal, rob some stores. Go ahead and join a team, you know? Just because this game is getting repetitive, that doesn't mean you can't really take action, you know? I do enjoy what I do, cruising, but just so that things don't get too repetitive, I like mixing in some store robbing or being a police officer doing traffic stops. You get the point. Switch something up. It's gonna have a big impact. It's something you can do when you're bored of the game. And speaking of cruising, this is something you can do when you're bored too, you know? Just taking it slow. Let's say that you're a racer, and like you see how your vehicle does against other people, but you're not really seeing the vehicle for yourself in a sense. You could just try driving it. And if you're not really a fan of the whole third person look, you can try a vehicle with an interior or a convertible system. For example, the Porsche 911 Targa 4S. I mean, look at this. This is sick. Like I said, I'm a cruiser, so you know I would find this very enjoyable. But at the end of the day, if you are bored of anything in life, the easiest and probably the most impactful thing to do is to come back. Beforehand, I've been playing this game for a while, but then I took a break. When I came back, it's like something switched. It's like this game felt new to me again. And that's how it is for most things in life, you know? But those are 20 things you can do when you're bored of the game. But what about the things you shouldn't do? Here is a video right here where I went over 10 things you should never do inside of Southwest Florida.